But listen carefully, because what you're about to hear isn't just a story. It's something most people will scroll past, ignore, or even deny. But deep down, they feel it. There was a time when everything seemed normal. Life moved the way it always had. Conversations felt familiar. Faces looked the same, but something subtle began to shift. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. Almost invisibly. At first, it was just a feeling. A strange discomfort you couldn't explain, like walking into a room and forgetting why you came, but deeper. Behavior, like your soul was trying to whisper something your mind wasn't ready to understand. You tried to ignore it. Everyone does, because the moment you start paying attention, things start changing. And that's exactly what happened. It began with small signs, coined sentences that felt too precise, repeated patterns that made no sense, of the same numbers appearing again and again, the same type of people entering your life and leaving just as quickly. You told yourself it was random, but it wasn't, because randomness doesn't feel this intentional. Then came the distance. People you once felt close to started drifting away, not with conflict, not with drama, just silence, as if something unseen was quietly removing them from your path. And here's the part no one tells you. When your life begins to align with truth, not everyone can come with you. At first, it feels like loss, like abandonment, like something is being taken from you. But what if it's actually something being protected? Because the truth is, not every connection was meant to stay. Some were distractions, some were lessons, and some were holding you back from something you couldn't yet see. But the deeper you go, the more uncomfortable it gets. Because truth doesn't just reveal the world around you, it reveals you, your patterns, your fears, the parts of yourself you buried just to survive. And when that starts coming to the surface, it's not peaceful, it's chaotic. You begin questioning everything, your decisions, your relationships, even your own identity. Who am I? Really, that question alone has shaken more people than any external problem ever could. Because most people don't actually know. They've just been playing roles, adapting to fitting into expectations, wearing masks so long they forgot there was ever a face underneath. But something inside you refused to stay asleep. And that's why you're here, reading this, feeling this, because not everyone reaches this point. Not everyone notices. Most people stay distracted, scrolling, chasing, avoiding. But you paused, and in that pause, something started waking up. Now here's where it gets even more intense, because once you start seeing, you can't unsee. The same situations that once felt normal now feel off. The same conversations feel empty. The same environments feel draining. It's like your energy no longer matches the world you used to fit into. And that creates a gap, a space between who you were and who you're becoming. And that space, that's where most people give up. Because it's uncomfortable, lonely, confusing. You don't fully belong to your old life anymore, but you haven't stepped into your new one yet. You're in between. And that in-between phase is where transformation happens. But it doesn't feel like transformation. It feels like everything is falling apart. Plans don't work. Things delay. Unexpected obstacles appear. You start thinking, why is everything going wrong? But what if it's not going wrong? What if it's being redirected? Because sometimes what looks like a setback is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually alignment. Sometimes what breaks you is exactly what builds you into who you are meant to be. But here's the truth most people aren't ready to accept. Growth isn't comfortable. Puff isn't comfortable. The awakening isn't peaceful. And becoming who you truly are requires letting go of who you thought you had to be. That's not easy, because identity feels safe, even when it's limiting, even when it's not real. But once cracks begin to form, the illusion can't hold. And that's when everything changes. You start noticing energy more than words, intentions more than actions, the truth more than appearances. You begin to feel things before they happen, sense things before they happen, sense things before they're said. And it's not magic, it's awareness, a level of awareness most people never reach, because they are too busy numbing themselves from reality. But you didn't numb it, you felt it, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it didn't make sense. And that's why things are unfolding the way they are now. Because once you step into awareness, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. But here's where the suspense deepens. The before in the because. Not everything that leaves is meant to return, and not everything that appears is meant to stay. You're being tested, not in a way you can see clearly, but in subtle ways. Your patience, your reactions, your choices. Every decision now carries more weight, because you're no longer unconscious. You're aware, and awareness changes everything. It means you can't pretend anymore. You can't ignore what you feel. You can't go back to what you once accepted. Because once truth reveals itself, it demands alignment. And alignment requires action. So now the question isn't, what's happening to me? The real question is, what am I going to do with what I now see? However, because this moment, right here, is a turning point, you can choose comfort and go back to what's familiar. Or you can choose growth and step into the unknown. One feels safe, the other feels terrifying, but only one leads forward. And deep down you already know which one that is. That feeling you've been trying to ignore? It's not confusion, it's clarity trying to break through fear. That restlessness, it's not anxiety, it's misalignment being exposed. That urge to change something in your life. That's not random, that's direction. But direction requires courage, because the path ahead won't look like the one behind you, and that's where most people hesitate. They want certainty, proof, guarantees, but transformation doesn't come with guarantees. It comes with trust. Trust in something you can't fully see yet, but somehow feel. And that feeling, it's leading you somewhere. Somewhere different. Somewhere real. But to get there, you have to let go of everything that no longer aligns. The habits, the environments, the people, even the version of yourself that feels familiar. Because holding on to what's comfortable will cost you what's possible. And that's the trade most people don't realize they're making. They choose comfort and lose potential. But you're standing at the edge of something bigger, even if you don't fully understand it yet, even if it feels uncertain, even if it scares you. Because fear is often the sign you're about to grow, not shrink. So instead of asking, why is this happening? Ask yourself, what is this preparing me for? Because everything you've gone through, everything you've felt, everything that's fallen apart has been shaping you, not breaking you, preparing you. And now you're closer than you think. Closer to clarity, closer to clarity, closer to becoming the someone you haven't fully met yet, but are slowly stepping into. So don't ignore the signs, don't silence that inner voice. Don't run back to what's comfortable just because it's familiar. Because this moment, it's not random, it's not coincidence, it's alignment. And whether you realize it or not, your life is shifting. Right now, quietly, powerfully, irreversibly. Irreversibly, the only question left is, are you